What's up, people? In this episode we have the giraffe lady, a couple news bloopers and mishaps, and then we got some sad sentimental news. So we're going up, we're going down, and we're staying in the middle in this Thursday edition of FTD News. Today's question of the day comes from YouTube user Tia Fritz, and she wants to know, when is your birthday? And also, it's Tia's birthday, so happy birthday, Tia. Big respects. Thanks so much for being a supporter of the FTD News Show, and I hope you live to see many more. So guys, on three, let's sing happy birthday. 1, 2, 3. She probably can't hear you, and you guys are actually singing? Like, what, really? But anyways, a 28-year-old woman from Los Angeles, Sydney Smith, admitted that she wants to be the real-life giraffe woman. Ever since 2011, she's been encasing her neck with these 11 rings in hopes to extend it, and she says that she's always been fascinated with the necks of the woman from Thailand and Burma. Now, this fascination from wanting to elongate her neck goes back to when she was in middle school, where she would go to sleep with wire hangers around her neck to try to extend it, and then she stopped it for a while, and then she later picked it back up, and now she reports that her neck is around 10 to 11 inches long, and the average human neck is between 5 to 6 inches, you know, give or take. Now, after seeing her, I'm sure that she does have a promising career in the modeling industry. She's got the look for sure, but this reminds me of those ladies that wear those super tight corsets so that their body can become slimmer. It's like you're brocking up yourself, you're killing yourself to look good. You look good already. You know, because of the story, the question of the day should have been, what body part would you extend? But no, I'm not, no. Next story. Now, this past Tuesday, during a coverage of a helicopter crash in Seattle, Fox Denver intended to broadcast some Twitter photos from the scene, and then things got really wonky. A photo of the crash was aired, and then it moved on into Edward Scissorhands, and then something that looks like an omelet, and then out of nowhere, this big old penis appears in the broadcast. Now, despite the fact that producers tried to cut away, you could see the hosts, like their reactions, like, oh my goodness! I kind of over-exaggerated there, but you know what I mean. Now, they say that they're going to be doing an investigation to find out who was behind this, and yeah, who pranks a report about a crash? You know, 2 people died. Like, anything to do with deaths, crashes, explosions, or whatever should be treated with a little more respect, you know? Now, what was a pretty funny happenstance in news world, it happened with KTLA on St. Patrick's Day. A 4.4 magnitude earthquake rumbled through LA, and this is what happened.
Ginger, thank you. Coming up, more problems for a troubled
earthquake.
singer. Yep,
we're having an earthquake. Okay, it appears to have stopped.
Yep.
We're gonna.
Did you see the guy's face? Like, no, rewind that clip.
Ginger, thank you. Coming up, more problems for a troubled
earthquake.
singer. Yep,
we're having an earthquake.
The guy looked like he saw a ghost or something. Now, as the video continues, you see him constantly flinching in fear. I don't know, is it just me, or does this guy seem like he's one of those type of dudes that would leave their girlfriend in a burning building? Oh, fire, fire! Now, in our next story, there's one death that could have been avoided if the urge to take a selfie was just fought off. A 21-year-old Spanish man was electrocuted and died after he and a friend climbed on top of a train to take a selfie. As the guy was climbing on top of the train, he accidentally touched a high voltage wire. Now, the guy and his friend thought that since the train was parked over in a side track, they didn't think that it was electrified. And think about it, this is probably the first story I've heard and even reported on where somebody died taking a selfie. So people, when you're out there taking and snapping your photos, just remember to be careful. And finally, another unfortunate mishap almost left a man dead. And I warn you of the graphic photos in advance. A 34-year-old man, Alex Lewis, who is a golfer and also the father of a 3-year-old, he's lost a ton of skin from his face, and also he's lost 3 limbs after he contracted a common cold 4 months ago. Or so they thought. Then afterwards, his extremities, you know, his ears, nose, fingertips, they all started turning black, coming to find out that he had a flesh-eating bacteria. Now, he's underwent a series of operations, and then the surgeon said that in order to end this, you have to amputate some of your limbs. Now, despite all of this, he's remaining optimistic and hopes to one day compete in amputee sporting events. Now, in hearing stories like this, it kind of brings things into perspective for me and realize that things could be really, really worse. So why complain so much? You know, like stuck in traffic. Oh God, why? Oh, why? Or there's a guy or girl that you like, but they don't like you back. I'm committing suicide. Nah, life moves on. I guess often sometimes we magnify problems that aren't really that big at all, and then people like Alex Lewis come along and show so much positivity in midst of their tribulations that alone should at least spark a little something in you to make a change. But anyways, people, that was my 5 cents on everything. In my last episode, you were asked what is your worst pet peeve, and this is what you guys commented and said. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of FTD News. Don't forget, you can hit me up on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you want to see it looking fresh, don't forget you can grab your Fresh Till Death merchandise. The link to the shop as well as everything else I spoke about in this episode are below in the video description. Fresh Till Death. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow on Friday. So until then, I'm Leroy Sedman Kenton, the original natural born Jamaican black man. Boom. Me out.